And we're live.
Welcome back, everyone. Episode 40. 40. I can't believe it's the 40th show, Todd, of Kids Deserve It. We hope you've been enjoying our weekly chats with educators and game changers from around the country. Also, don't forget, you can check out our podcast on iTunes.
We want to remind you that you can pick up the book Kids Deserve It on Amazon today. And while you're waiting for it to come in, remember you can get the Kindle version for $2.99.
Also, don't forget to join our Kids Deserve It chat on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time and 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And check out Todd's very popular Periscope right before the chats at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. This week, we've got another great guest, but first we want to introduce ourselves. I am Adam Welcome, Director of Innovation and Technology in the San Francisco Bay Area.
I'm Todd Neslony, Elementary School Principal in Navasota, Texas. And we have our guest with us today here who is Katie.
Hi there.
So we want to remind our viewers to participate in social media. We love seeing the things you tweet out, whether you watch live or you listen later on iTunes.
So Katie, we have a few questions for you. So for those who don't know about you, tell us about yourself.
Sure. So I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for DonorsChoose.org, and we're quite simply, we're a charity that helps public school teachers get supplies they need in their classroom. And I've been with the organization for 10 years. So I could tell you a whole bunch of exciting stuff about myself, but a lot of those stories would involve working at DonorsChoose.org.
Awesome. So running straight into that, what do you love most about working there?
Getting to be able to serve teachers and their students across the country is such an important mission. I personally have grew up in a family of educators, and being able to kind of help and support tens of thousands of educators all through my job is really the dream.
That's great. So why do you think it is important that there are programs out there that exist like Donors Choose?
Well, it's important because teachers spend on average, hundreds of dollars a year out of their own wallets on classroom supplies that they need, and frequently still they go without a lot of critical learning materials and ways to be innovative in the classroom. So at its most basic level, what we provide is supplies, so teachers don't have to spend this money. But I also think it's important because we see that so many teachers don't feel really recognized in their professions and their careers, and don't feel supported in a way that that you would hope they would. So I think being able to see people from across the country looking at their classroom and making donations to support their students, even if they don't know the teacher, is it kind of provides support and recognition and I don't know, some critical high fives for teachers that they don't always get.
Totally high fives. Todd and I love high fives. That's great.
So you often, Katie, work with teachers directly. What is it like seeing them and their students kind of receive sometimes these really much needed supplies for their classroom?
We are always blown away by the level of gratitude that teachers and their kids show when they receive even really basic classroom projects, and when they receive large, really innovative projects, the gratitude is even more. And so much of the time we feel like we should be the ones saying thank you to the teachers for what they do, instead of them thanking us for supplies that are basically critical tools they need to do their job. So it's really fun to see the gratitude, but we try to do a lot to make the teachers feel like we're saying thank you to them as well.
Nice. So what was school like growing up for you, Katie?
That's so open-ended. I loved school. I think my favorite subjects were reading and science, and I hated math growing up, but end up using it a ton in my job, and feel like I eventually got good at it. Any specific things you were wondering?
Yeah, did you really like school, or did you have a teacher that really stood out to you?
Sure.
Oh yeah, I loved school. I was definitely a big nerd, and was the kind of kid who got excited to get to school in the morning and excited to do homework in the afternoon, unlike my older brother. And I had so many teachers who were really important. My first grade teacher, Mrs. Katz, I think taught me the value of like hard work and discipline. She was one of those really tough teachers who I was almost scared of her when I was that little, but looking back, I feel like she just taught us these like critical kind of like disciplines that I now use in my management at work. And then Mr. Torrance in second grade taught me to love to read. And all the way through college, I had two sociology professors in college, Miss Channels and Mr. Sachs, who were I keep in touch with to this day, and they taught me to want to go into a field that would make social impact, which I am. So
great. So
yeah.
if you had one wish for education, what would it be, Katie?
I think my wish would be that teachers would have what they need to do their jobs, and that every kid across the country had the same access to the ability to learn. Yeah, I mean that's I very much felt that way even before I started working at Donors Choose, and seeing millions of students go without what they need is just totally heartbreaking every day. And it just seems so unnecessary. Yeah.
So when you're having one of those you can't get out of bed days, super tough, what do you do to kick your butt in gear and get out the door and get to work?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, I usually get my butt in gear by making myself go to a yoga class or go swimming.
Nice.
That usually helps me get energy. But I this sounds very corny, but I feel like one of the really lucky people in this world, because I actually get excited to get to my office in the morning. I have the most amazing coworkers who are just so like enthusiastic and energetic, and it's just fun to be around them.
Nice. Office. Awesome. So who is someone that inspires or challenges you to be better?
You know, I'm really fortunate. I have this set of professional peers who work at other organizations that are similar to DonorsChoose.org, and that they're online kind of crowdfunding type organizations. So Kiva and Global Giving are the ones I'm closest to, but also Charity Water and a whole bunch of others. And I talk to those. We have a peer group, and we talk once a month and share everything that we're working on, from strategy all the way down to what's working, tactics of what's working and what's not. And I talk to them many times in between those monthly calls. And just being able to have people that do such a similar job to me and being able to like share and trade experiences back and forth is so inspirational to me. I definitely have a lot of figures who I look way up to, but it's nice to have people kind of at your level that you can, where you can just push each other and encourage each other.
Totally. So Katie, every week we like our guests to leave a challenge for our viewers. What is your challenge for the week?
So my challenge is for those teachers out there who are already using DonorsChoose.org. I would love to see you take a teacher at your school under your wing who's not used DonorsChoose.org and brainstorm with them what they could do more or better in their classroom if they had more supplies, and then encourage that teacher and show that teacher how to use DonorsChoose.org.
That is great.
Yes.
Well, Katie, thank you so much for joining us today. I know you're busy, so we really appreciate giving us some time on the weekend to just chat with us about some things.
And thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for all you're doing for DonorsChoose.org and for teachers and students across the country.
Thank you. I want to remind our viewers to continue to connect with us on social media using the hashtag KidsDeserveIt or tagging us at KidsDeserveIt. And remember to join our Twitter chat on Wednesdays. And our guest next week is going to be the 2013 World Champion and 2014 Paralympic bronze medalist, Carl Ludwig. So we hope to see you there.